So, what guided me along the years in order to create my own religion, a personal religion, personalized religion, not to be imposed upon others, that I found for myself. The first text was from the idea of Franz Bardon. According to the universal laws, the magician will form his own point of view about the universe, which henceforth will be his true religion. That doesn't mean that we believe whatever we like in the supermarket of ideas, but we test and verify with a scientifically inclined mind everything that we undergo in the magical hermetic trials, in the hypothetical inductive deductive way. We test a hypothesis, we induce and deduce in a feedback loop the laws that we observed, whether with walking with God, with various entities, various, let's call them dimensions instrumentally, various modularities of magic, and so on and so on. The other citation is from Alexandra David Neal, The Secret Oral Teachings in Tibetan Buddhist Sects. And this is a fragment of Kalama Sutra. Do not believe on the strength of traditions, even if they have been held in honor for many generations and in many places. Do not believe anything because many people speak of it. Do not believe on the strength of sages of old times. Do not believe that which you have yourself imagined, thinking that some god has inspired you. Believe nothing which depends only on the authority of your masters or priests or institutional religion. After much investigation, believe that which you have yourselves tested and found reasonable and which is for your good and that of others. In other words, it's a very disciplined approach to self-development, to building up your own religion. And when it is up to learning from the wise, it is not to deny their right to certain ideas, insights, realization. So I was attending a Soto Zen Sangha to train concentration without committing to vows. I was reading various texts from Tiruvular, for example, Tirukula, to Arabic masters of Ibn Arabi, Ibn Sina, or Al-Kindi. I was reading the ancient anthologies of Egyptian literature, techniques of Egyptian magic as compendialized nowadays. I was reading the Akkadian anthologies, the Sumero-Babylonian, Neo-Babylonian, Assyrian, and so on. I was reading the Hindi, Arthashastra, Upanishads in fragments. I was reading the Buddhist texts for the mind training and various source texts by Serlingpa and others. I was reading the Shobogenzo of Master Dogen Zenji, Bendowa. I was also reading the works of the other Japanese masters and Chan masters, as well as of Buddhist Taoists like Zhuangzi, formalists like Anvezi. I was reading the books of European masters and mistresses, maestras, whether in alchemy, or whether the ancient hidden theologies and philosophies from Parmenides to Heremon the Stoic. And I've learned a lot from all of that, also in interaction with the divine affairs and more infernal ones. Where does it lead to? I took what is good and wise and strong and noble from all this and incorporated it into my own religion. In other words, I'm not a lost little boy or a seeker that is awaiting to be converted to some Judeo-Christian nonsense. I found my own mint religion and I do not wish to spread it. As an anti-universalist and an open textualist, I'm sharing what I have witnessed and learned throughout the years. So take what is wise and discard what is bullshit. Inasmuch as I took what is wise from all these studies, interaction in theory and practice, and discarded what I found to be either of no utility, no wisdom, or detrimental value. Therefore, whenever a Judeo-Christian idiot is attacking me, he is angering me. He shouldn't. But if this mob of Christians, ignorant, imbeciles, backward cretins, attack someone who is great at religious comparativism, magical practice and theory, occult practice and theory, hermetic, then it seems like a backward of religious imbeciles and fanatics that are attacking a professor of the divine. So instead of learning, those idiots assault. Instead of realizing, those idiots try to submit under political religious nonsense. That's why they are to be combated, fiercely, and without any mercy. And after years of patience, I've witnessed only that from Judeo-Christians. Self-entitlement, ignorance, delusion, condescending smile. So I carry on with my private religion, and I don't need a Judeo-Christian shit. I don't. I have the wealth of wisdom of the world supporting me in order for me to derive the better of it. Oh, I've read the Bible, the Gnostic scriptures, Nag Hammadi. I've read the theologians of Christianity and their ideas, Thomas Aquinas, modern theologies, Wilhelm Schmidt-Bigerman, and so on. That was more of a compendialist. I've read the Civitas Dei by Augustine and his Confessions. I've read fragments of Proclus. I discarded Judeo-Christian thought as bullshit. Simple said. I cross it out forever. I don't need the Jewish Bibles and the Jewish wisdom. I have my hidden one. Hindi, Buddhist, Greco-Roman, Kemetic, Egyptian, ancient Sumero-Babylonian. And if they didn't go to the extent of studying those texts, those sacred narrations of non-Judeo-Christian peoples, then there's nothing to talk about. Because they're in their echo chamber of nonsense and bullshit. So it is. Let them be. But if they start to proselytize and assault you, someone superior in knowledge, erudition, someone convinced to other things by the force of his reason and intellect that's supposed to be divine, then they should be opposed fiercely and destroyed. If not by intellectual, combating, militant intellectual, then by gods and goddesses themselves. Because if, following Neoplatonic Plotinus' example, if divinity is of intellect, then Judeo-Christians are unwed from this intellect and imbecilism. They are more like a religion of darkness and ignorance cast upon their minds and souls. Thank you.